All right. Thank you for being here again tonight, and welcome. We hope you get something that will help you grow your business tonight, and we look forward to hearing from you as well. So input is important on these calls.
So let's start out with, I know before we hit the record button, we were hearing some wins. So I would love to start out with some wins that happened in the last week. I'm looking at you, Lulu.
So I did a lunch and learn teamed up with a photographer, a friend of mine, and he does primarily real estate photography. And I teamed up with him and we did our first lunch and learn together, and I got an executive membership out of that.
Yay. Good.
And I did another presentation for a local business here through the chamber, and they signed up with an executive membership as well. So yay!
2 accounts in 1 week.
It was good.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm hoping the real estate lady will convert. She's talking about maybe going for the whole year, because I mentioned,
awesome.
if you need some kind of expense write-off, pay for the year and get it under your belt now, because who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we talked about that on last week's call about we're coming up on the end of the year, and there are many businesses that their accountants are probably going to tell them in the November, December timeframe, you need to spend some money before the end of the year to avoid or to offset your taxes. So it is a great way when you do the yearly membership, and especially on the executive, because they're saving almost $400. So it's a great way to save monthly and to have that tax write-off. Awesome. Yep. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. And I promise by next week I will doing 2 videos. I'm telling you now, I'm going to do one with the ornament and one with the journal and the other things that I mentioned last week. So
awesome. Yeah, I love the journal and the mouse pad / coaster / jar gripper, because it can be used for any of the above or all of the above. So awesome. Well, congratulations. Any other wins for last week?
Last night and the night before, we got one of my gals that signed up as a customer for the $49 special in the summer. She had not done anything all that time, but she hadn't dropped out either. We got all her, she was within today, she would have, her account renewed today. She would have lost 50 cards again, but she got all 50 cards done and out for Thanksgiving. And I talked her into it with all the training we've had too. I said, she was going to put a Black Friday type thing on there. And I said, well, you haven't really even sent them anything yet. And told her how nice it is just to do this, just to be your first touch point with them. And they do all get emails, and the more I talked to her a little bit more and asked her, they were mostly her preferred customers and her ambassadors. So so anyway, she just did one of the cards from the design store. And so anyway, we're both so excited. And Sunday night, I got all of mine done for my family. I found a 1999 newsletter for Thanksgiving that one of my kids had made as a school assignment. And so some of those people were grown up and things had happened. So I tried to do it as
nope, she froze.
The suspense.
It's
well, I know she said her internet was spotty when we started the call, so hopefully she'll come back and be able to finish the story.
Well, we had one win that it was a lady who is a property manager who's had an account like for 4 or 5 months now and hasn't done anything with it because she never had time, and we taught her how to use it and she never got around to it. finally she hooked me up with her daughter who works with her, and her daughter is real great on computers. So I did a Zoom with her and helped her get started. And then yesterday they sent out 64 Thanksgiving cards.
Nice.
So that's our
Awesome.
first actual order, and got 64 cards out. And
Nice.
then we had health and fitness lady that I worked with yesterday who is seriously looking at it. So I had a good talk with her. Hopefully she's going to. And then today we met with a couple. She's a real estate agent that we just went to an open house and looked at it, and she said, "Oh, I got to see this." And so she's excited about looking at it. And her husband was there, and he's a financial planner. And
Oh,
so he's
awesome.
going to talk to his secretary and see if we can get her to learn how to use it. So we got some good ones in the coffer there.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. And going back to what Terry was talking about, and now Steve and Jan, that people have an account and they haven't been using it. I highly recommend that the first thing you do with a new customer is have them pick out a 12 touch automation, whether that be holiday card, there's holiday card automations out there, or whether that be the charcuterie board that is 12 touches. There are quite a few out there in the design catalog. Go pick one of those out with them and make sure they import a list of at least 50 people and add them to that automation. And now they know that they will never miss out on their 50 or their 200 cards every single month. I've had that discussion with a couple of customers this week that were like, "Oh, I just got it in under the wire, and I got my Thanksgiving cards out. Now I got to work on the next month." I said, "Well, what if you went out and picked out a 12 touch?" I try to always get them to do a 12 touch automation so that they're using the 50 or the 200 cards every single month. Because if they're doing that, they're not likely going to cancel or quit.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
So if you just do that one thing with every new client, whether they are a pro or an executive member, that can be huge for your business, because they will start getting phone calls and results. And even if it's just phone calls or texts saying, "Thank you so much," they see that what they're doing is having an impact. And then they generally don't want to cancel. They don't want to quit.
Brenda, would that work with somebody that's been signed up for a year or two, but they never use it? Could you do that same approach?
Absolutely. Go to them and offer them, because they haven't used it. This is what I would do. You have to decide if you're willing to give the time. But what I would say is, if somebody hasn't been using it and you've been being paid for 6 months or a year or 8 months, that you say to them, hey, I would love to help you get this up and running. And I know you've been paying for it for a while, and I know you've missed out on some of the benefits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an hour, or I'm going to give you 2 hours of my time to make up for the money you've been spending.
Love that.
To get you up and running. Let's set an hour or 2 hour time block. And what I need from you ahead of time is I need you to have an Excel spreadsheet with at least 50 or two, if they don't have 50 names, if they said to you, "Well, I only have 40 names. Well, at least let's get those 40 or 175 names in the system, and let's at least get stuff going out to them in a client nurturing, relationship building way, not marketing way." And then we start to add the other pieces in.
That's genius.
Okay, great.
Anne.
Oh, okay. Do they have a 12 touch? Do you know? I can go in there and look for direct sales.
There are, I'd have to go back and look.
Okay, I'll go look and see. Just put in direct sales and it'll have something. Okay.
Direct sales, or
network marketing?
It might just say client nurturing, but there are, I don't know if there's one that's 12 touches, but you can, I know
Even if
there's lots of 12 touch automations that can be made for any industry.
Got it. Okay.
And I'm pretty sure there's one that's a 12 touch for direct sales or network marketing. That's out there. I don't remember the designer. Kim might know. Do you know which one I'm talking about, Kim? It's been a while since I looked at it.
I don't know
Okay.
who did that. I know there's a couple as well, but I don't know who they are from.
Yeah. There's a couple of them that have been out there for a while. So,
And I could probably make up my own for this one direct selling company. Okay.
yep.
That would be a little challenging for me, but I might be able to do it.
Yep. Well, the other thing to do, Anne, is if you want to make an investment in your business, if you don't want to create them, you could hire somebody to create them for you in your account so that then you could turn around and share them.
Great idea. Okay.
That way it's not somebody sharing them with you that's designed them. They are built in your account that then you are able to share them. It might cost a little bit more than the other way, but if you want it specifically for the business you're in, it might be well worth the little bit of extra money that it would be to do that so that you had ownership of the designs.
Okay, I may be calling you.
Okay. Anyone else? Wins. We're talking about wins from the last week. Nope. All right. Well, we'll move on. What I wanted to talk about this week, last week we talked about video, and we were going to share some results. But I know a few people that were on didn't get the chance to do those videos, so they're going to work on them. But what I really want to talk about is really taking advantage of the holiday season. If you go research the statistics, this is the biggest card sending quarter of the year. We send more, Americans or the public in general send way more. I think it's 15.8 billion cards and gifts this time of year. And I think that stat is a few years old, so it's probably much higher than that now. What if you only had 0.1% of that? People will use systems like Snapfish, Tiny Prints, Costco, Walmart, Walgreens. They are all looking, whether they are a business or personally, they are looking to save time and get their holiday cards done. So many people like Mike and I, before we had a system, used to sit on the couch for almost 2 weeks because our list is so big from being military and a large family. My mom 8, my dad a family of 7. Wow. That, I mean, we were sending hundreds of cards, and it was, it was fun, but it was not fun. It was fun in that you went through the list and you remembered everybody, but it was not a fun task.
Right.
It was a huge chore. And Mike says,
It's like doing taxes.
nobody likes to do it, but they have to do it. And people don't have to do holiday cards, but they feel like they need to do holiday cards. It's the time of year that most people will spend the money to do it. So how can you grow your business this time of year, even if it's just for the holidays? Because if people see the ease and convenience of doing it, they may stick around. They may not. And there are some people that would say, well, I'm not going to go after the holiday sales. I'm looking for the long-term customers. But I personally like helping everybody this time of year because I've had people come on intending to just do holiday cards that became long-term clients. So it's about bringing them on board and then showing them the value and helping them to get the system set up so that they're celebrating birthdays and they are doing the monthly touches. So I want to hear some ideas from you all of how you plan to grow your business this time of year, since this is the season.
So what about the people that have dropped off the monthly thing? I think I'm going to get in touch with them and they can get on it for a month, right?
Yep, they
Can
sure
they?
can.
Yeah, they can get back on it. So that's a way to bring some people back, maybe.
Yep. So there, I have done a couple of postcards, but you could do other cards, or you could pick up the phone and call, or do
Right.
emails or text, or all of the above. The more touches, the better. But I've done a Thanksgiving and I've done one that's Christmas that talks about, one of them says, this one says, don't forget you have a powerful tool at your fingertips. So this was meant to go out to those past members, no membership, or even people who are members that may not be using it regularly. You may not know if they're using it regularly. It's just a good reminder for them that other than their client nurturing, they could do their holiday cards through it.
That's a great idea.
And gifts.
Yeah.
Because it's way easier than driving to the store and picking out going to Costco, Sam's, Walmart, whatever, standing in line, buying the gifts, and then having to find a box and the packing material and taking it to the post office. Yeah. No, thank you. Not doing that anymore. Used to have no desire to stand in post office lines anymore. Anybody else?
I've been posting, actually, in some cases, reposting just some of the media that Wendy posts or whatever. I just been taking that, putting it on my Google page, putting it on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, and definitely getting traction from that. Just, just being more noticed.
Absolutely.
In addition to sending cards.
Anybody else?
Got to do a favorite gift video.
Yep, favorite gift video. Or favorite gifts videos.
Well,
so
that
you
too.
could do the 12 days of Christmas, or you could do for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to share my 14 favorite gifts.
I like that.
So now you got 14 videos instead of one video with 14 gifts in it.
I like that.
Anybody else? We're quiet tonight. Kim, what about you?
Putting me on the spot. I think I mentioned this one other call. I sent last year, I haven't gotten my act together yet this year, but I still have a little time. Last year, I sent Thanksgiving gifts to my clients. I just did like 2 cookies and a card. It was very affordable. I have a little bit of a tight budget right now. So I just wanted to do something nice especially for the clients that have been with me for a while. I wanted to send something. And I thought that would stand out more than a holiday card. So the 2 cookies and the card, I think it was like maybe $12 at the most. I think it was actually less than that. So I have to think of something else to do this year. So
do we still have time for that?
I mean, I found that when I send a gift, it gets there faster. Like I live in New Jersey, and if I just send a card, it could take 7 or 8 days. But if I send a
know.
card and a gift, 3 days, 4 days, maybe. So I think if we did it in the next 2 days, I mean, I don't know where they're at with the move, with the building. I haven't heard anything. Maybe we'll get an update tomorrow. But I think if we send it before the end of the week, I think a gift in a box would get there in time.
Yeah,
What about postcards? I'm sending some out for our church to all the members, but I don't know if it'll get to them. I just don't know.
when are you planning on sending them?
Well, I'm waiting for the pastor to give me what he wants to say in it. Maybe tomorrow.
I get
Wow.
them out
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
ASAP. Yeah,
The postcards take a little longer, I think, right?
Yes,
They-
they do.
they
I
are.
I sent myself some about a week and a half ago, and I just got the tail end of them today.
yep.
Mm.
A week and a half ago?
Yeah, it's
About a
taken
week
a
and a half.
long time for postcards, and
Okay, maybe I won't do that then.
cards would be your better option.
Right.
Cards are gonna get there quicker than postcards, and a box is gonna get there quicker than
Okay.
cards. Josh,
Hi, everybody.
hi.
Hey.
Happy
Hi.
fall.
Yeah,
Yeah, just sorry, I got sucked into I'm producing a new tour over here, and I was sucked into that. So sorry I'm late. But yeah, just a quick comment. I saw it was quite a while ago that the way things go in terms of the level of postage, the postcards are done in batches. As pre-sort or something like that. So they are going to take a bit longer because they accumulate a batch of them and then they go like a separate sorting process. So just kind of keep that in mind. And if you're going to be sending like a lot, like, a couple hundred or something like that, they may get their own batch, but it's just good to be aware that that's how those travel. So it's a completely different track.
Mm.
Thank you.
yep. And they have, so think about it. Do you give your light members the same priority as your pro and the same priority as your executive members? Probably not. Because you're making more on the executive. The post office does the same thing. They make very little on the postage on the postcards, so it's not their priority to get them out. Cards are next, and then boxes, obviously that's where they make, I don't know, make money, but that's where the revenue comes from for the post office for the most part, is the packages. So obviously they're going to give that the highest priority.
Makes sense.
So just keep that in mind, especially as you're coaching your clients. Somebody who's trying to go on the cheap and just do postcards, they need to send them way earlier than other people. And I agree with Kim. The other thing you can do going up to the holidays, we've already passed it, but for next year, if you send fall or Halloween and send a gift with it, it gets them thinking about doing cards and gifts for the holidays. And Thanksgiving is a great time to do it, but they've already missed Thanksgiving and now they're scrambling to get their holiday or their Christmas done. Josh.
There's another thing that kind of always comes to my mind, and I'm always thinking about this with my marketing scheme. And actually, Brenda and Mike, you guys are really good at this, is anticipating the season. So being just a little bit ahead, and how you phrase the message in your card can also speak to that. So if you're going to separate out for Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever the Hanukkah, whatever the holidays are, that's great, whatever that is. But say blank holiday is coming or coming soon. And that way, that gives you the lead time to send it early to make sure you can account for all of these, unknown travel times that we're talking about.
Mhm.
You're probably maybe going to be first, which is nice to be the first one to actually get that greeting to them. But saying it's coming kind of gives you the latitude to be early without looking silly, I guess,
Yep.
being too early. If that kind of makes sense to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I changed my birthday to 8 days.
Yep.
And it's still getting there after the birthday.
I usually tell it 10 days.
Yeah.
And even here in Colorado, because I'd rather be early,
Yeah,
but it's okay to be late too for a
I
birthday.
know. I know.
You're just extending the celebration.
Yeah. In fact,
Yeah.
there's a card that actually says that. So when I've missed
Yeah.
sending something, that's a fun card to send.
Yeah. Yeah, we send that. We have several that we've built extending the celebration. We didn't forget your birthday. We just wanted to extend your celebration.
Right. Yeah, that is cute.
Yeah.
I also think if you miss, the major holidays, you can always do New Year's, Happy New Year's.
Yep.
And that can be the whole month of January. So
Yep.
you don't have, if you do miss the window for the December holidays, it's okay to send a Happy New Year card and get
I usually send Thanksgiving and New Year's cards.
Mhm.
That's what I
And
do too.
then I bypass the whole Christmas. Is it Christmas? Do I say Happy Hanukkah? What,
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Lulu, since you're partnering with a photographer to do lunch and learns, have you thought about, I've done this with photographers in the past, I'm not doing it this year, but where you have a one-stop shop where people come and get their pictures done for the holidays and their cards done all at once?
I have not, but that's a good idea.
So we did
hmm.
that a few years back, and we set up in our basement. We happen to have a place. We were also going to do it on site, like out at parks, and that the only challenge with that is weather, and
Yeah.
it could cancel it. So we
Yeah.
chose to do it inside, but the photographer came here. Of course, it's photographers have it all on an SD card or digitally, and they hand it to me. I put it in the computer. We upload the pictures. They'd pick out what they wanted. The cards, I had 5 designs that were already done. They picked what design, added it to their account, dropped the pictures in, voila, done in under an hour or so, photos and everything. Something
Wow.
to think about to partner, any of you, but Lulu's already partnered with a photographer. I know he's a real estate photographer mostly, but real estate teams that they could do come in and get photos of their whole team.
Well, that's what I was, when you were talking, I'm thinking headshots and team photos would definitely be easy to do. The other thing, now he is branching out because now his kids are grown and he's getting back into wedding photography. So that could be an opportunity.
Yep.
To partner with him for that. But I think the real estate with the headshots, because he'll spend like a whole day or half a day. And obviously thank you cards. When we do our lunch and learns, I'm going to be sending thank you cards to everybody from us. Maybe just, I don't know, I haven't thought about if it's just going to have like a kind of a recap thanking them and just to recap what we talked about or something like that with some bullet points. Maybe we talk offline about that.
The other thing I would definitely include in that, because you've partnered with a photographer, is make sure there's a really good picture of you and him or her in the card, because you want to highlight photography and cards.
Got it.
So make sure
really
visually,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So just
I love it.
some ideas.
Take a photo of the actual event, everybody around the conference table or whatever, and then a picture of us.
Yep.
I love that. I really love that. Thank you.
Yep. Any other ideas?
You could do that if you were going to do a tabletop somewhere, an event, fundraiser or whatever, and you had a tabletop. If you did it in time, get it done. Well, you could do that for New Year's cards though. If you were doing an event during December. Yeah.
Yep.
Hook up with a photographer. Well, you could do your own pictures.
Yep. You could. It's a lot easier
if somebody else does
look and they're back to back and somebody's taking the pictures and then they come to you and then you get the cards done. And you
Yep.
have to have them bring it on an Excel spreadsheet, their contacts, and it all gets done quickly,
Wow.
stress-free.
If you know what you're doing.
Well, I didn't know what I was doing the first time. We just said we're gonna do it and we made it work. We figured it
Okay.
out, you know.
Okay.
It's about taking the idea and figuring it out.
Yep.
Did it run 100% smoothly? No, but we got it done.
Okay.
And I think we had that year 10 people that came for photo shoots. So 10 new
Yeah.
or existing clients that got their stuff out, and the photographer got money for the photo shoot. So we
That's-
partnered together.
Do you remember how much what you charged everybody for that? Be good to have a guideline.
I don't. It was based on the number of cards. And I'd have to go back and look, and it was based on the photographers did a discounted sitting fee, and we did one, we told them one price, and then trying to remember how we did it and divided. I think they paid 2 separate fees, one for the sitting. It's been a few years ago, before COVID, so I don't 100% remember. I've talked to several photographers and was thinking about doing it this year, but we didn't get our act together to do it this year, but it's something to think about for next year.
Hey, Brenda, were these people that were customers of yours already? They were already using the card system, so they used your card system? I mean, you use your card system to
No, I
send-
set them up with an account.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And
And
so,
then
like,
that would-
for instance, $79 would get you 50 cards, and then you have to pay postage. So you'd figure out 79 plus 60 times 50, that's another $30. So it's $109 to send 50 cards. And let's say the photographer charged $70. So $179 gets you a photo shoot with, I think they gave 2 or 3 digital photos that they could choose, and they got those plus the
Wow.
cards.
Hmm.
So you just have to figure it out. If somebody's going to send 200 or more, then you base it on the executive.
Mhm.
Love that.
A great idea.
Yeah. And then they could cancel afterwards, cancel the program, if they didn't want to use it for a couple of months or whatever. Or
They
would
could,
would they
obviously.
hook?
Yeah, obviously you're looking to get long-term customers, but
Mhm.
there are people that need help at the holidays, whether they're going to use it long-term or not. And
Mhm.
I have customers that just use the service every holiday. And yes, they
Very
come
good.
on for the holidays and then they
Mhm.
quit. But then when they're doing parties or a retirement or an anniversary or a family reunion or a class reunion, they tend to then say, hey, Brenda, now I got to do these. And they come back on, and they may be an occasional user instead of a regular monthly user, but
Mhm.
they're good bonus add-ons.
Mhm.
Obviously.
So if they're on the 49 and they dropped off, they'll come back with the 79, not the
Yes.
40. Okay.
Correct.
And obviously what you're looking for is you really want customers that are going to be using the system long-term.
Right.
So I would offer that something like that to, like you said, your real estate agents, your insurance agents, they have families and they have employees that could actually send cards out with team photos, like somebody mentioned. I think it was you,
Mhm.
but I think that should be our focus. It shouldn't be on the individual,
Right.
because
Right.
we really want to grow our business.
Mhm.
And to have individuals come in and use the system for just a month or two really isn't going to grow the business the way we want it to. So focus on the businesses that that could actually use holiday sending system.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
along
it's a
with
lot
the-
of work too, if you're
Yeah.
just, to get somebody to do something like that and then,
Right, then they
Well,
go
use
away.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is if you go out and look online, there's a lot of greeting card companies out there that will actually sell you a bunch of greeting cards, but then they send them to you and you still have to do all the work.
Mhm,
We have a system where they can just do everything online and
mhm.
the system does the work. All they have to do is upload their contacts. So
Right.
really that's the benefits of what we're trying to accomplish here, is trying to get businesses to understand how easy this is. And, right now, we're kind of behind the curve, but really what we want to be doing is in the future for next year, 2023, is take a look around August, September, and start thinking about the businesses that could actually use your system during the holidays and beyond the holidays. So, right now we're talking about this holiday season, but for next year, let's start thinking about who is it we can contact that could be long-term customers that just don't use it for just the holidays.
And the other thing this time of year, like we talked about, I think we talked about it at the beginning of this recording, or we talked about it pre-recording, is the yearly and being able to take the tax write-off. Many businesses right now are planning their marketing dollars for 2023. If you wait till 2023 to talk to them about their marketing for 2023, you've missed the boat. They've already put a budget together and they probably already picked the systems. And if you talk to them in January, they'll say, oh, well, I've already committed to doing this for 6 months or 9 months. And so now you've got to wait 6 months to 9 months before they'll consider using the service. Whereas if you talk to them now and saying, what are your plans for next year? Let's set you up for success in the new year. That's where you can get businesses on board and talking about it now. You can say, let's start with your holiday cards and then launch right into next year with your customer retention / marketing plan for next year.
And the thing is, if they're going to do it, they have to upload their contacts, and
Yep.
and it's like your contacts are already there. Let's keep this going and growing.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yep. Any other last minute ideas? We're coming up on the 40-minute mark. Well, can everybody commit to talking to 3 to 5 people? An actual discussion about this, making a sale with Mailbox Power, not just a one-on-one where you chit chat about what you do, but actually ask for the sale. 3 to 5 conversations in a week. That's less than 1 conversation a day.
Steve.
They're committing. He's on
I
mute,
got it.
but he's committing to doing that. Who else?
Me too. I
Who's
am.
committed? Awesome. Awesome. We look forward to hearing the stories next week, because when you commit to doing that, it's like Vanessa when she's done the 90-day runs, when you commit and write it down. So I want you to make a list. Make a list tonight. Make a list of at least 10 to 15 people. I'm only asking you to commit to at least 3 to 5 to actually contact and have a conversation. But sometimes it takes 10 to 15 names to actually have 3 to 5 conversations, and check them off the list and keep track of them. Because when you keep track of it, if it's up here in your head, it goes poof and it's gone. Or at least for me, it's poof and it's gone if I try to keep the list in my head. If it's on your phone or on a piece of paper and you're looking at it every day, put it on a sticky on your mirror in the bathroom or on your refrigerator, then it's like, oh yeah, I got to make some calls today.
And I'm going to make it even easier. It doesn't have to necessarily be new people. It could be people you already have in your funnel that you haven't talked to in a while. Just go back, talk to them and say, hey, look, we're at the holidays, and I know you could probably use a system that would make your card sending easy, and see what you could do as far as generating some business that way.
So can everybody commit to that?
Yes.
Yes, and
Awesome.
hopefully we won't have any little hiccup like a hurricane like we did last week.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no hurricanes. We're not looking for any natural
No more.
disasters.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate all of you. And what I also want to challenge you to do is bring one more person next week.
Oh, okay.
We have 12 people on. Just invite one more Mailbox Power affiliate to join you on Tuesday nights to learn how to grow their business. And let's see if we can get 24 people on next week. And then if everybody again invites one, that 24 becomes 48. And imagine the impact we can make in Mailbox Power, helping people to grow their business.
Yeah.
And again, we want
Love
to just
it.
say thank you for being here. We know the value of your time. It's something you never get back, and we do appreciate you being here and contributing. We're learning as much from you as we hope you're learning from us.
And if you have any topics that you would like to learn about, struggles that you're having in the business, maybe you've got a roadblock that you just haven't figured out how to get past, please bring those topics to our attention, and we will devote a call to that topic or a couple of topics that can help you to overcome those blocks in your business so that we can get you making the kind of money that you would like to make in this business, whatever that is.
May I
Thank
add
you,
one
guys.
thing? Oh, I just want to
What?
add one real quick thing, and that is I talked to my partner, friend, who's a musician and writes songs, and she is very willing to help anybody with a jingle, and she is good, right, Ann?
Yes, she is good. Yes.
Very good.
Awesome.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, and we're waiting to do Lulu's back in town, so.
Yeah, Lulu's back in town. I like it. Awesome. Well, thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next Tuesday on the Mailbox Power Builders Call. Have a great week.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.